Will the stochastic RSI stay at 100 until we move down? Yeah. Yeah, as long as it has strong buying pressure, it will. So I bought off of this previous 4-hour low pre-market. I just did one contract. Got out way too soon. I'm flat right now though. I don't have anything on. Let's see. See, I bought that at 921. 16,921. There. That would have been a nice one. I mean, it was still a nice one, but not like this. 80 points. There'd have been 160 bucks on one micro. Oh well, you can't think like that. Be happy with the money you took and try not to let it affect your future analysis. Morning, Andre. Is that how to say that, Andre?
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing?
I'll be better when I get some more coffee in me. Had a long night. All right, there's 100 points from where I got in. I took it long right at 920 earlier before market, and it's making me wish I was still in. I just put one contract on.
It's been doing really well, respecting 14 AMA. Pushed right off it, just barely.
Yeah. So we should have some resistance up here somewhere. Problem is that big spike down from the news really kind of screwed up our market structure. Z-scores pegged out almost. They're at the top, so that's usually a decent indication of Some exhaustion at resistance. Oh, I need to share my screen with you. I always forget that. Excuse me. All right, so we got this divergence here.
Order filled.
I'm going to front run a one contract here. It's not showing. Something's wrong.
Yeah, I'm lagging really bad this morning too.
There it is. So this may push up here. I don't know. I'm just kind of front running position a little bit. Based off of Z-score being so high, and we got this divergence. And we're at resistance. Halfway would expect some kind of reaction there somewhere. Good morning, y'all. All right, so we got a nice strong wick there. It'd be nice if some sellers would step in here. Watching price action here. See if that doji wick there holds. Maybe they'll push this at least maybe back to VWAP. Buyers are stepping in here. I don't know. I'm tempted to flatten here just to let this shake out.
Order filled.
Yeah, I'm going to take a $7 loss on that. I'm flattened. Just because, I mean, it's logical to see a reaction here, a push, like some kind of, if they're going to put in a higher high, then it would be logical for them to push it back to VWAP and make a higher low and then push it on up some more. But I don't know. I kind of lost faith in the trade. And while it was giving me an opportunity to get out of minimal damage, I just took it. Watch them slam it down now. That's what I was looking for there. That's what I was looking for, y'all. Oh well. I was front running anyway. So if this is a divergence. So if this pushes down on down, there's a good chance we'll get that blue background
Order
short.
filled.
So I'm going to go ahead and front run again. Just one contract. And we need to get through this VWAP here. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the bar. So we got a little time. This is really got to push down on this bar, or we've got to print a new bar before we get our blue background. So hopefully we don't reject here at VWAP, but we are front running, and this front running is front running the signal. You got to decide how much exposure you want to do on front running, and for me it's just one contract. All right, we've got 57 seconds left on the bar. Hopefully this will push on down, give us a nice blue background short signal. We'd be targeting, in this case, you got all this support here to work with, all these previous day highs and all this stuff to get through. So got to keep all that in mind. Eight seconds left on the bar. There's the short.
Order filled.
So I added a second contract there. And we'll see if we can get through this mess here. Okay, I want to take half off there. I'm going to move my stop to break even.
Order submitted.
Just because they've got all this, you got all that support right there, and I don't want to mess around with that. I'm gonna manage this trade a little more protective. So we're pretty much at our middle band there. So that would be where you take half off if you haven't already. And my stop is at break even, plus about plus a tick or two. Well, yeah, I've got a 3 tick pad there to cover commissions. And I'm just going to flatten here because there's all that support right there. And I'm just not even going to mess around with that thing going all the way down to that bottom band. There's all that support, and I'm just going to flatten. And you can certainly stay in and keep your break-even stop in, but there's just a lot going on there. And I'm going to let it shake out. Call me impatient or whatever. Or maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. There was just a lot of support there, so I'm just going to let them have it. So we're at middle band. If you're still in this short, I mean, we're at middle band. That's the half off point, first target. I haven't technically closed underneath VWAP yet, so this bar will be, there's 2 minutes left on this bar, so that'll be a nice strong close below VWAP. And it's trying to push through all that support, you know, that I flattened over. So if you're still in this, you know, for me, you know, my targets are going to be these fib bands. So yeah, see those fib bands there? You should have them. I mean, if you got these tools on your chart, you should see them. Okay, 1 minute left on this bar. That'll be a close below the middle band if they can hold it here. That's always a good sign for continuation. And then sure enough, if they close it below the bottom band, that would be a good sign. As long as we're not, you know, you got all the support here too, these previous swing lows and stuff. But it is a lower high, you know, price made a lower low. It pulled way back, but it still didn't make a higher high. So we do have a lower high, and then it would make sense if they at least go down here and test this low here, because that would be, you know, the challenge there to make that lower low. So there's another target on the fib bands hit. You know, it's starting to fall back off into the opening range area. So that would be, you know, a decent sign for some continuation. But we're just following these fib bands here. We did close below VWAP. Got all these targets to work with here. Andre called out 25 earlier. Got pretty darn close to that. Nice trade, Andre.
Learn from the best. Thanks, Donnie.
I don't know that I did anything to help you there, but that was a good trade. I mean, I've had some good trades, but I've been cutting mine off early today for some reason, which is fine. You know, you get green, you don't try to be too hard on yourself. Just
I'm learning not how to FOMO, and greed is
yeah,
very so real.
yeah, greed. Overconfidence. You know, you should have a certain level of confidence when you're trading, especially when it comes to your strategy and you know your familiarity with your strategy. Um, but you know, I'm talking about the destructive confidence that comes with, like, you know, I'll never you know I'll never have a losing trade, you know, or you know, man, I've been killing it, and there's no reason this trade won't work out because you know the last 10 did. You know, that all affects, you know, that can all really screw up your position sizing and not let you see the reality of, you know, what you're trying to manage and accomplish. And it's tough. It's a battle because if you are a good trader, you know, you will tend to have that overconfidence from time to time.
Sometimes we forget when people post big results, and
Yeah.
you always think like, well, if they can do it, I can do it.
Mhm. And it's tough because if you are, you know, if you're doing good and you know, if you're, you know, pretty consistently profitable, and you see somebody else that's, you know, made more than you or whatever, you know, let's just say you look at Bob's results for the day or something and you've been doing good. Well, that can tend to, you know, throw you off of your whatever daily goals you have, and you'll tend to just like go on tilt and double your contract sizes on your trades, and then all it takes at that point, you know, at that point, all it takes is one or two bad trades, and you're really in a jam. So just it's good to avoid that if you can. Saves a lot of pain, frustration. So me, you know, personally, this morning I had a I almost, I mean, this move up here, I had this at 90. I mean, yeah, 920. That long there, I got out probably right in here, and then I caught this short, and I got out too soon on it. So what do? You can either over trade, you can go into like crazy mode, or you can just say, you know what, I made green on those trades, and I'm not going to beat myself up for over it, and you move on.
Amen to that.
Yeah, in fact, I think I'm going to switch to paper trading.
The last year, I made myself a rule. I'm trying to stick with it. I try not to trade after news. Just being caught myself in
Yeah,
all the bad trades.
yeah, it can get hairy. It's like trying to put a halter on a wild stallion. Hopefully this will push down again and give you that 25. Or did you get out?
No, I got out with a profit.
Okay.
Just watching now.
Yep, I'm flat as well. Is anybody still in this short? Can anybody take the short besides me and Andre? Guess not. If you didn't take the short, why not? What kept you from doing that? Let's take a poll. I guess I'm gonna talk to myself.
He keeps respecting 14 AMA. I think he might try to push down to the pivot point at 910. But for that trade to be, I think, legit, it has to break 925. Other option would be you might come up to a 15 day range, which is at 975 roughly, and then push back down off that to 910.
That makes sense for sure to me. That would be the rejection off of VWAP roughly, and a lower high to just go on and keep pushing down. We'll see. And if it doesn't do that, we've got this like wide swinging chop going on. At least that's what I see here. I see this kind of like narrowing down, squeezing in kind of situation here.
It's definitely looking for direction.
So as it continues to find that direction, they'll tend to squeeze it in tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. And then something kind of gives and builds up so much steam that it blows somewhere. That's just one of the scenarios. Another scenario is that it just kind of made a little small lower high there, and they're going to push this on down like a break and go kind of thing. Yep, there's a break and go. So there's a another target hit there, and they're pushing this on down. You know, each fib band's a target. There's that break and go we were talking about.
I was short for 930. Should have held.
Yeah, I was trying to get filled on a options trade, but it just keeps running off on me. I can't get filled. Not surprised, Jay is short. Finally got filled there. It's a horrible position though. Gonna take some quick profit there. All right. Locked in 50 bucks on the small account. So that was just a break and go, y'all. That's a typical trade. That's a normal trade for me. I like the break and goes when it aligns with market structure. And I took that way late. Excuse me. Took that way late, but also got out really early. Just managed it pretty aggressive to get some profits locked into the small options account there. get these pivot points on here.
Oh, I definitely hit the pivot point at 840.
$840, yeah, I've got 843.75 support. That's basically where I took that options contract off, or options trade. I had 3 contracts. Man, I'd be doing pretty good if I'd have held them that long and short. I'd be up 300 or 400 instead of 100 on my.
The famous words, shoulda,
Yeah,
coulda, woulda.
exactly, man. That hindsight gets you sometimes. But oh well. We're getting strong bearish ticks on the market internals. I don't know if y'all saw the bot alert there. So that usually either means we're gonna get like a volume spike reversal, or we're gonna get a continuation, one of the two. But when you see that alert, it should perk you up in some kind of way. $16,800 is Jay's next square of nines. If anybody's in a short here, 16,800. All right, so just quick recap on this morning so far. We had this blue background long with the buy signal pre-market. Then we came up here, we hit resistance here, and then we then we had, it's hard to see there, we had a divergence there, and then that resistance held, and then that came on down and brought us to this blue background short signal, where first target would have been the blue band, second target this fib band or the bottom Bollinger Band, and then stop would have been at break even at that point. When it hit the blue band, you would be at break even anyway. But then we had this little slingshot off of the bottom band there, led us into this nice push down here, which ended up being a breaking go to the downside. But you can see, because of this volume spike, this news spike, market structure is weird right in there. So, getting in sync with the markets could be kind of difficult there. But so, in that one bar, it made a higher high and then made a big lower low, and then it comes down and fails to make another lower low, and then it comes down, or it comes back up, pulls back really hard, but still doesn't make a higher high. So we have no reason at that point to think that, we're going to be in an uptrend. So then, comes down, kind of stalls a little bit, makes this a little lower high there, and then, the expectation would be a break and go to the downside. That was one of the scenarios, I had laid out there. The other scenario would have been that, we don't have any trend anyway at this point. When it gets to this swing, we still don't have a trend, right? We just have an expectation of what it might do based on market structure, but we still don't have a trend. So, the other scenario would be that they kind of jerk it around and then kind of squeeze it in real tight and then push, break it out one way or the other. So, quick recap of what we all went through there. Does that make sense? Anybody have any questions around all that? The logic behind it? Be right back. I'm going to get some more coffee.
Hey, Donnie, I think I missed the bus actually, and I took the wrong direction. And so, do you still see the support that coming?
I'll be with you in just a second. I'm getting some more coffee.
Okay, sure.
Okay, who is that talking?
Hey, it was DK,
DK?
actually.
Okay.
Yes. How are you doing, sir?
Good.
So, I think I took the wrong direction actually. I missed your initial session, and then when it was going up, I thought it might go, and then I took the PCS. Actually, I was playing with the SPX. I took the PCS, and it deep into the money. I didn't have the stop loss, so I'm still having that. So, do you see any chances that might go up again, or should I just exit out with whatever I had?
Well, these moves are pretty strong, right? So, these are when it does make a move, or makes a swing. These, you can see how vertical each one is, right? To me that shows strength in both directions. So, this could very well have, there could be some buyers step in here and show strength again. They showed a lot of strength here. Just based on how vertical this is. It's almost as straight up as you can get without being just a one bar spike up like the news bar. But this is buying and not looking back right in here. And the same right in here. This is selling and not looking back. And selling. This is in the context of a downtrend. So we got this lower low, we got a lower high, and then this would be the logical thing to do, lower low. So now we've got support hitting here. So, if that's going to hold, the logical thing for it to do is do this. Let me see. Let me get rid of some of these lines here so it's not near as messy. And, this is just me, right? So we had a lower low, lower high, lower low. So, that's our trend. We've got the three elements to a downtrend. So the logical thing for it to do is kind of pull back and then go like this.
Oh, see, okay.
But it could do, let me see. Let me just get that there. Okay, it could do something, like this, where, it kind of nicks a new low here. And it don't have to be just like this shape. It could be like right here, just right here. It could reject here, come down like this, and then, get a divergence.
Got it. Okay.
On this leg here, and on this leg here, or that pivot there, and then, and then go, all the way up from there. It's hard to know. All you can do really is follow the market structure logic and then create these scenarios in your brain. And you're not really biased as much on them as much as you are reactionary around, when those scenarios would play out. You still don't know, right? We're just trying to create some kind of probability and systematic breakdown in your brain of what could play out. And even though we don't know, we have to create those scenarios. Otherwise, you're just guessing. And
right.
I guess to some degree we're still guessing, right? We can't get away from that part of it. But if you can create these scenarios and then react when those scenarios play out one way or the other, then you'll be in a lot better position. So that would be one of the scenarios there. We do have this downtrend price action market structure thing, but if it's gonna get divergent, reverse, it's gonna have to get a nice divergent and buyers step in like they did over here, to create that momentum shift. But then the other scenario that could play out, is they could push this up here, and then let me just get a new tool here. They could push this up here, and then like this divergence, and then push it up, and then jerk it around, and then go. That would be another scenario to play out.
Right.
Because divergence either means you're going to get that reversal, or you're going to get sideways action, consolidation.
Got it. Okay.
And then the final scenario I would probably lay out would be just a downtrend, walk down. It's kind of messy, but you know what I'm saying. It could just be a walk down day like that.
Right.
And I would say, you know, the odds of that, because we've had, I mean, we've kind of had two in a row almost, like, you know, the odds of that, you know, I would say that would be the third, you know, least probable scenario, but doesn't mean it won't happen. It's just, you know, that would be the three things that I could see playing out.
Yeah, makes sense, sir.
And it doesn't really matter. You don't really care which one, right? You just, as long as you're aware of them and aware of how they could shake out, then you're ahead of the game. I'd say you have an edge at that point.
So may I ask, like, what's your stop policy actually? Like, when do you get out? Maybe it's not the right time to ask. Maybe I'll ask later because it's a lifetime.
Say that again. How do I get out? Where do I get
Yeah,
out?
what's the stop loss? I mean, like, if you think that your trade is going in the opposite direction, when do you get out actually?
Well, let's see. Let me get rid of some of these. I mean, we're getting a blue background long here. I'm not going to take it because the trades that I took today should have yielded me more than I got, and so I'm not going to push my luck. Even though I haven't banked all these profits, I'm still green. I'm not going to push my luck because these were some really good trades. I just didn't grab as much profit as I wanted to, but I'm not going to push my luck here. Yet still, I mean, you have a blue background long, but it's in the context of of the market making a lower low. You know, this could push up and very well may work out to hit the first target of middle band.
Mm-hmm.
But me personally, you know, it's in the context of these continuation pivots. You know, that's those C's, the C there, C here, and C there. You know, that's the market structure we've got going on. You know, we just got a continuation pivot high there. So,
Got it. Okay.
Okay, so I mean, let's just take this trade for an example, DK. I mean, this trade here, if you took this long, it would have been, you know, right here. Draw a line there. So right there at the bottom band, that red band there, that would have been your long or your entry. So, you know, I like to use the fib bands as one of, you know, the main tool that I like to put my stop. So, you know, the next lower fib band is the bottom band of the fib bands. You know, it's that green line there. You know, that would be my stop there. And then, whoops, you know, for initial target is, you know, technically the middle band, but, you know, if you wanted to be more conservative, you know, before you get to that middle band, at least right now, you have that pink middle fib band there. And you can see, I mean, without doing any math, right, you can see, you know, this is my risk and this is my reward, right? So, I mean, I don't know what that is. It's probably a 3-to-1 or 3.5-to-1 there. So, you know, if you're happy with a 2-to-1, you know, you can be more conservative with your initial target, right? So, you know, you can make one of these fib bands your initial target. You know, that's roughly at 1.5-to-1. You know, you could make, you know, just something like that to where you can create that 2-to-1, you know. And that's just on your initial target, right? So if this pushes up and you're able to, you know, to take that half off, then, you know, stop would be at break even, right, at that point. And so you'd be, you know, you'd just be managing it like that.
Thank you, Donnie. Thank you so much.
Sure. I'm glad you asked that because I'm recording and that you know, somebody watches this, they might have that question as well. So that would help them. Okay, Jazz did well. Okay, cool, Jazz.
How are you doing?
Not too bad.
Okay.
What's going on?
Things are going okay. Working on few stuff, but nothing much.
You guys think there's still a downtrend, or is it kind of stuck?
I mean, as far as market structure goes, we've got a downtrend. At least in my opinion, my humble opinion. All right, so y'all see how, these bands are catching up to the bars. So if this will pop a little bit, even a little bit, you'll be pretty dang close to that middle band where you can take some profit. And that's going to be, right there at the pivot point. So there you go. There's the middle band. That would be half off there, and then stop to break even. And then, I mean, you keep in mind that, that's right at the pivot point. Resistance there. Anybody take this long? I didn't take it. But it was a good one so far. Oh, I'm just now noticing as well. You had a C here, which means let me see what I have this set to. True strength. So the ergodic didn't get divergent there, but this indicator did. They did have some kind of divergence to work with there. But yeah, we've hit the middle band. We're bumping up against the pivot point there. VWAP's getting up there. Getting close up to being up there toward VWAP. So, and it's in the context of a downtrend. So, you have to set at least some kind of expectation that it'll reject it at one of these resistance points and at least come down, and test the low again. Now that may mean that they push it down and try to test the low, and then they make a higher low there, then do that. That's one of the scenarios. Yep, nice, good job. Oh, he's not in the room. I have to type it to him. So there's that push to, test things out on the bottom side, and I mean, it's almost like I say it and it does it right. But all I'm doing, I mean, I'm not some kind of wizard. All I'm doing is just following market structure, y'all. I mean, all that, what would make sense in this scenario. I'm just following the scenarios that could play out based off of what the structure is telling me. I got somebody at the door, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm back. delivery lady trying to deliver my chicken feed for my chickens. So if I were to move this over a little bit, that could be the scenario. Y'all are quiet this morning. Did y'all stay up half the night like I did? Hungover or? I'm not hungover. My dog just kept me up. Okay, DK, let's see. DK, I muted you earlier because I think you were on the phone or something, and I didn't want you to.
Sorry about it.
No, it's no big deal. I just didn't want you to implicate yourself in case you were planning a murder or something. I had your back.
Thank you. Somehow this Discord has my like I can only hear you with my headset on. I cannot hear you from my desktop speaker. So that's I was trying to find out like how can I enable the desktop speaker. Like I can play YouTube with the music on and I can hear the desktop music, but I cannot hear this Discord your volume with my
That's strange.
without my headset. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about all that. I'm thankful my stuff just works. I wouldn't know necessarily too much about troubleshooting it.
I think I got it. Yeah. I think there was an option to do that. Thank you. I got it.
Okay, Dice got you back there. All right, so I'm probably done trading, y'all, but we can do a recap that I promised y'all from yesterday if y'all want. If it wouldn't be a distraction to anybody that's still trading, we can do some kind of recap. If you had questions from yesterday, I know Bob had some, which he was probably asking, more so for the community. So, yeah, we can go back and look at some of those signals there. And let's see. Does anybody want to review their charts and see if there was any areas from yesterday that you got screwed up on or the markets jerked you around in some kind of way? So here is the open right there. All right, so if nobody had anything, I'm just going to walk through the trades. And the way, kind of my hindsight analysis, which is, hindsight, is always so much clearer and so much makes so much more sense, right? But you can still, learn some things by looking at hindsight. All right, so let me blow it up a little bit. So we had the open right here, made a higher high, and rejected it at the top band, the top fib band. And then we had the blue background short signal. That's just a standard short signal there, right? First target middle band, blue band there, stop to break even, and you're just, next target's going to be your bottom band and any of these fib bands down here. So that's just a standard signal there. We came back up, and so as far as market structure goes, this is kind of messy, right? So we made this higher high, then we came down and made a lower low, but we made the lower low with divergence, which led us to this signal here, and that was an almost immediate winner, right? First target hit almost immediately, so your stop would be at break even at that point, and you just manage it accordingly. All that you got the top band up there that should have been a target for you, and then it jerked around a little bit, and then went ahead and kept on climbing, right? So each one of these fib bands, these little light blue lines here, each one of these fib bands could be a target for you as it goes. So then, we made the lower low, we made a higher high, we made the lower low, and then we eventually made another higher high. So that's basically not any structure, right? There's no trend, right? I mean, it looks like it would be an uptrend. And I guess if you went off of the bar closes, you could technically say this didn't make it didn't close to make a lower low. It just nicked a lower low, wicked back up, and then went. So you could interpret that way. So in that case, you did have an uptrend if you interpret it that way. So with an uptrend, you made a higher high. So what's the next thing? What's the next logical thing for the market to do if it's going to continue the uptrend? Would be a lower high or a higher low. Sorry. So that expectation of the higher low would lead you to this sell signal, where you had that was just a standard signal as well, just like these other ones. And then failed to make a higher high on this swing, failed to make a lower low on that swing. So you got a higher high again, but then it goes ahead and makes a higher high. So you did have the blue background there. That one would be taken with the expectation that sellers did try to step in here and keep them from making a higher high on this swing, but buyers stepped right back in and prevented sellers from taking over, which would mean a lower low there. So buyers stepped right back in and brought you to this buy signal and standard signal there. So then they push it up. They fail to make a higher high. They made a higher high from this pivot, right? But this is the main swing, for the continuation of the uptrend. So that's the reason you have the eye there, is because it doesn't know what to do with this pivot. So then you come back down, you test this pivot swing low here, And then you got a print of a hidden divergence. And so that hidden divergence rejected at the bottom band, which is basically just a slingshot, a deep pullback slingshot to the upside with the hidden divergence. And if you were to take that off of the bottom band, I probably wouldn't have, but that's definitely a slingshot off the bottom band. So if you were to take that off the bottom band, your first target is like it's the middle band like always. So then you got a push up, failure to make a higher high again, right? So that leads you to the blue background short, which is in the middle of all this this kind of messiness that we're talking about here. It's back into the middle of it. And it's okay to do that, but it needs to be, it needs to be a decent enough range, between, the highs and lows of this messiness in order to kind of make it worth it. So then, you got rejection off the middle band, and then you finally get that break of these highs here. You would want to see it close above the highs there, which you did. Rejected off of resistance there, slingshot off the top band, and then you finally get this. If an uptrend is still a part of one of the scenarios you're seeing in your mind after following all this up, this market structure right in here, this would be your confirmation right here. Okay, that's kind of what I needed to see. And so, it made the higher high, nice strong push up, but then they wick it back down. So, that leads you to that sell signal there, which, they wicked it down. That shows a lot of strength, right? And then they showed a lot of strength on that bar there to push it down. So that's just a standard signal there. And then in the middle of all that, you had this buy signal, which means, this strong bar here, that's probably the main contributing factor to the stochastic being, bottomed out. And then this green triangle here means that the stochastic came out of the oversold territory. And that's in the middle of the bands. So then, that's just all we got there at that point is a higher low. Higher low, kind of a slingshot off of the bottom band. And then higher high again. Higher low. So if it made this higher high, what's your expectation? At some point, it's going to hit resistance and experience some exhaustion, and then make a higher low, which is this pivot here. So this pivot here would have been a failure. That would have been your first failed signal there, and you could look at it, a million different ways, right? But that's how many signals have we had since the open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the 8th one. So you had 7 opportunities to get green here. 7 successful signals before you got to the 8th one. I don't know about y'all, but I like those odds. All right, so if you took this signal here, it did hit, something to be noted is that it did hit the top fib band. If it did, if it hits that and then things start going sideways or getting squirrely, all these lines are here for you to use as targets or stops or entries. That's all they're here for. This line here, which is the top Bollinger Band, That's used for your entry. The rest of these lines are used for targets or stops. So just keep that in mind. If you're in a trade, and the trade's going in your favor, these lines are here for your targets. So if you get in a trade and I don't care what it is, if there's something in the way of your whatever your target is supposed to be, if there's a line in the way of it, I would adopt that as a target, at least an initial target before you get to your initial target, if that makes sense. So then it pushes up again. It made the higher low, right? So on this trade here, if you were to take that, your stop would be, somewhere around the top band, if you were going to use the lines, right? So, the top band somewhere right in here would be a stop. So, if you entered here, where's my lines at? Here we go. So if you entered here, your stop would be somewhere in here. I don't know where you would take it, somewhere in here, right? So look at that distance there. Let's keep that distance in mind. So if you stopped out right there, you took this entry here, this next signal, it's roughly, if you took that signal there, took it off at the middle band, there you go. It paid you back, right? And that's just at your initial target. So this is one of the shorts that I definitely took yesterday because of the divergence. We had this divergence down here. Z-score was high, and then the Z-score ended up being divergent as well. And so this was a nice trade right here. Nice trade. So, markets made a higher low here, made a higher high, divergence to indicate some, we may be experiencing some exhaustion. We got the sell signal. Bam. That was a nice one. And I actually took this one. I did my normal thing, took the half off, and I don't remember where I don't remember where I took the final off, but then I also got back in. This was right at the end of the day. Yeah. So I took it off, and then I got back in, and took the break and go yesterday, right before the close. So I took the break and go somewhere right in here, and then then it hit the middle fib band. Right when it hit the middle fib band, I hit the button, flattened. And that ended up being the bottom of the freaking move there. So I would call it maybe lucky, but also it hit one of the targets, right? It hit the fib band, and I hit the button. So taking advantage of some luck there was a beautiful thing. So that's pretty much the recap, y'all. I don't, besides this trade here, I don't see a whole lot of problems with yesterday. There's certainly days that have more problems than that. So I hope that makes sense to everybody. If not, you can ask questions. All right. If nobody has questions, then I'm gonna shut her down. One last chance. Anybody have questions? If not, then we'll call it a day, or I'll call it a day.
I just want to say thanks, Don, for everything you do and your participation in this.
Sure, man. Appreciate yours as well. I feel like we've got a really, really good group of people, but also good group of traders. People, a pretty wide spectrum of perspectives on the market, and it really helps to bring all those pieces together to help you see things that you may not be even looking at. And everybody's got their own little niche, if you will, as far as analysis goes. And so, if you can bring those niches together and they complement each other in some kind of way, then I think that's a beautiful thing.
Definitely bounce off each other ideas. It's
Yep.
the best way
Yep.
to succeed.
Yep. I agree. All right, y'all. Well, I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. If you're green, be up to you. I can't tell you how to manage it, but for me personally, I'm just not going to participate. So I'm green, and I'm going to keep it that way by not participating. You can also get green and try to keep it that way by scaling down your position sizes, or reducing the amount of trades you take. So that's the two ways that you can kind of manage the profits you have, if you're going to continue to participate. But there's nothing wrong with just cashing out your chips and moving on to the next game, which would be tomorrow or this afternoon. So, all right, y'all. I enjoyed it, and I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Thanks, Donnie. You too. Have a good
Thank
day.
you, Donnie.
Sure.
Thank you
bet.
so much.
Adios.
Bye-bye.